So good morning, everyone. It's a lovely morning here. It's unseasonably warm on a September morning, and I'm just going to invite us all just to stand on on our mat, and we're going to just do some movement with our fingers. And I'm just going to invite us to draw our fingers in, and then our thumbs around the top, and then move our wrists, work our wrists around like this, and like this, and this, and this. There we go, back and forth, just our wrists. Very good. And we can cup our fingers and draw our arms up, pressing our palms to each other here, and then opening our palms out, stretching our wrists out, and drawing them down. And once again, we're going to bring our wrists up and then draw them down. So this is for all of you downward dog vinyasa fanatics, where our wrists can be a little bit overburdened. Okay, good. And we'll shake our fingers out now. And we're going to do the flick off. Now, this is my version of the Kamala Harris happy dance this morning, because as David Frum, the Canadian conservative journalist, wrote in the Atlantic, Harris wrote to dope in her debate last night with Donald Trump. And it was a very exhilarating watch. I watched with friends and we were all hooting and hollering. Now, as a friend suggested, we don't know what the outcome of the American election will be. It could be quite dire, but the debate was a positive point. I'm just shaking my hands out and shaking my arms and shaking my legs and really shaking my hips, doing a happy dance, just jiggling and getting ourselves all worked into a full body kind of mobile massage. We're just shaking it out here. Good. All right. Now, I'm going to do some, at the very beginning, we're going to do some standing kind of preparations for our sun salutation, and then we'll go down onto the floor and do more yin poses. But we'll start with some standing poses, some active poses. So we're just going to open our arms up, look up, and then pressing our arms out, forward folding, and we're going to dangle. Now this is the name of a yin pose. I have my legs hip width apart, and since it's early in the morning here, I am just pressing my feet into the ground, feeling the energy rising up the back of my legs, my hamstrings, etc. And I should feel, rather than feeling that I have any tension at all in the upper part of my hamstring where it attaches to the hips with tendons that are quite fragile, I feel the stretch all the way along my hamstring, all the way along my body. And we're just dangling here, allowing our torso to fall over our body. If you find this difficult, you could use blocks and give yourself a bit of support, but the point of this is just to fall forward. So the bottom part of your body is active and the top part is very passive. And just falling like a leaf from a tree, letting go. We're inhaling and exhaling here as we dangle. And we're inhaling through our nose and we're exhaling through our nose. And we'll take one more deep breath here, inhaling and then exhaling. And we're going to come all the way up with a straight back and look up and open out. Good. Now let's do a few sun salutations here. I'll just move some things out of the way. Here we go. So inhale, look up, and then exhale. And we're dangling again. Then we're putting our hands down, bringing our right leg back, dropping our knee, and looking up to our thumbs and inhaling. And then we're hands to the floor, other leg back. Now you can have your knees down if you like, or you can be in plank pose. And we're going to stay here and breathing, inhaling and exhaling, feeling the strength of our arms. We're pressing out through our heels. We're pressing our thighs up. And we are working to imagine our body in as straight a line as our very curvy spine can be. And now we're going to go knees, chest, chin, or you can lower down with chaturanga and come up into a low cobra, pushing into the ground here with your hands, feeling your chest open, feeling your breath. And now we're going to come down. We'll put our fingers out into a kind of stop sign, pressing our fingers into the ground and pressing up our chest into a larger back bend. And now we're heading back down to the mat. And we're going to put our hands under our shoulders, push into our body towards a child's pose, and planting your toes, lifting up into the downward dog. And we're inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And in the next inhalation, we're going to raise our right leg up, and we're going to go up onto our supporting leg toes and draw our knee into our nose. And then extending our leg straight up and back, and draw our knees into our left elbow, and then draw our knee up and draw it into our right elbow. And then up again. And then into our chest, and then back again and up. And then we're going to put that foot down and just go back into downward dog for a moment. Breathing here. And then we'll just lift that right leg up one more time and draw the knee forward, putting our foot on the ground near our hands and lifting up, looking up, hands to the ground, back leg forward, one more dangle here, a forward fold. Inhaling and exhaling. We might feel a difference in our legs, having really allowed our right leg some opening. Inhaling and exhaling. And then the next inhalation, let's look up. And hands to the side. Okay, to the other side. So we're going to lift up, look up, exhale down, and then back again. Our left leg back on the ground, up, and our hands to the ground, into plank. And we're going to breathe here. We'll take 3 deep breaths into our belly, into our lower ribs, into our upper chest, and then exhaling. So belly, lower ribs, upper chest, and then exhale. Belly, lower ribs, upper chest, exhale. And we're coming down chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin, and then pressing into our hands and looking up. We've got an upward dog here. If this is too much for you, you can do a lower cobra, turning our toes under. We're going to push back into our downward dog. And I'm going to pedal my feet out because I have old, crampy feet. And this is my pleasure in the morning, is pedaling my feet out after a hard night walking. I have to confess that I dreamt of Donald Trump last night. It was a rather excruciating dream. I don't think I've ever dreamt of him before. Anyway, he was thoroughly trounced. And we're just inhaling and exhaling here. Now we're going to lift our left leg up and bring our knee into our chest, and then extend that leg out and back, and knee into the right elbow, and then out and back, knee into the left elbow, out and back, and last time knee into the chest, out and back. And then we're going to go back into downward dog just for a breath or two. Lifting our leg up again, our left leg, and bringing it forward between our hands and dropping that knee, coming up, looking up. Hands down, forward bend. And we'll dangle here for a moment. See how our bodies, listen to your body. Maybe move the weight from side to side on your legs. You might have your legs bent. You don't want any strain on your lower back here. So you decide whether you can have your legs straight or not. And we'll dangle here again, exhaling, letting go like a leaf. It's a gentle letting go. And now we're inhaling and looking up and down again. Good. Very good. So now we have our body opened with our kind of slow yoga sun salutation, and we're going to just do some standing poses. So we'll stand with our feet together, or there could be a space between our feet, but we're pressing into our toe mounds, lifting our toes up, feeling our arches rise up. They're sparking our legs and enlivening our whole body. We can imagine that there's some kind of lovely magnet that our feet are actually stuck to our to the ground with a magnet. But our arches are rising up and our toes are rising up. They're lifting up, and we're spreading our toes here. And now we're moving out to fairly wide stance and opening out. I'll do this mirroring you. So your left leg is opening out, and I am just sliding my hand down here. I'm hinging my hips, and I'm sliding my hands down and lifting my arm up, feeling that the ribs, there should be space between the hip and the rib on both sides of your body. And you are on your shin, you could be on a block here, and you are turning your torso towards the sky. It's like you are a morning glory flower. The sun is coming up and you are rotating your chest towards the sky. Your ribs, your lower ribs are moving around. And we're breathing here. And now we're going to come back up. And we'll just extend our leg out here, our knee out rather, bending our knee into warrior two. And we will descend. So I'm actually wiggling my leg a little bit further out and I am descending. So you're kind of moving in both directions. One arm is moving forward, one is moving back. And at the same time, you're descending. Your thighs are rotating around and you are feeling powerful, like the warrior, the peaceful warrior that you are. Now stretching that front arm out, straight out, stretch, stretch, stretch. We can drop our forearm onto our thigh and lift our arm up and over. Once again, rotating our ribs, our chest around to the sky. And breathing here. We're holding because we can. It's good for us. We're developing stability, strength, mobility. Now we're going to press into our leg and come up to triangle. We'll just slide our arm back into triangle, looking up, just to remember where we were. And now come up, turn our feet around and move back into a wide stance with our legs apart. And we're going to move into triangle. Once again, you can put your hands on your hip and feel that your hip is moving back. Your arms are stretching out. You're dropping your front arm down to your shin and looking up. I'm breathing through my nose. Now I'm winging my way back up, bending that front right knee and dropping down. So once again, I'm tilting my pelvis slightly to the front, but very gently, making sure my thighs are rotating around. This thigh is pressing back, so the knee is straight, and I'm pressing into the outer edge of that foot. So I've got my very stable lower body here. Good. And lifting your arms up, looking forward to that front arm. And once again, I'm going down with this front knee at a right angle. I'm lowering down here as much as I can. Stretching that front arm forward. I am leaning to the side, dropping forearm to thigh, and opening up myself to the diagonal. Pressing that back knee back, pressing into the outer edge of the foot, and breathing. Feeling the strength of this extended side angle pose. And now come up and turn your legs around, wiggle them in, and then just have a bit of a wiggle here. Oh, that's very good. Strengthening All right, we're going to do some wide angled forward bends here. So you can open out your legs wide and put your hands on your hips. Bend at the hip. Come forward. You could have blocks here if you like, or you can go down to the floor, whatever is comfortable. I'll demonstrate with blocks for you. And here we are. And I'm stretching my arms out. I've just got my blocks, or you could put your hands on the ground, whatever feels good. And once again, I'm lifting the inner arches of my feet up and my toes to really ground my feet into the ground. And I'm pushing back on my thighs. Now I'm going to walk over towards the right, and you can certainly do this with your block. Or sorry, towards your left, rather. Sorry about that. And then I'm just staying here for a moment. You could hold on to your ankles if that's in your wheelhouse, as they say. We were on a ship. And you can use your elbows to draw into your thighs, into your chest, into your thigh. And now we're going to come around. Once again, I'm just sliding my blocks over to the other side. And I can either just stay here in this lovely slight twist, and then, or I could hold on to my ankles and use my elbows to draw my chest towards my thigh. All the time I'm pressing into the outer edges of my feet. And now I'm coming back to center. And I'm going to walk my hands back underneath my shoulders if I can. And just pressing into my hands here now. This pose does lead into a tripod headstand eventually. But we're just going to let your head hang down here. If you like, you can put a block under here and feel the crown chakra on the block. It's actually quite a nice feeling, or whatever height you can manage here. And feel as though you could manifest a tripod headstand in another life. That's what I feel at this point in my life. I think I'm beyond tripod headstands now with my wonky neck. And I'm just going to rest here with very strong legs. My tailbone is heading out. I shouldn't feel any pain in my knees. Now you can either roll up, or you can put your hands out in front of you and your arms out in front of you straight and just come up, whatever feels possible. And then open out, draw your legs in. And once again, we'll just let everything go, shaking our feet, shaking our hands, feeling that whatever stress is in our body is leaving us. Good. All right. We're going to turn towards the short end of our mat and take a short step forward. We're going to work on pyramid here. So once again, hands on hips, and we're just going to feel the hip crease as we move forward here. And sorry, you'll need a block. You'll need a block here. So on the inside of, so I have, you'll have your left foot forward. The block is on the inside of your left foot. And we are hinging forward. And we can just keep our hands on our hip here, or you can just suspend your torso over your legs. Now, once again, in these standing poses, the oppositional principles of yoga are strength and sweetness. So the sweetness is allowing our torso to spill over our body. The strength and the discipline is really in the legs, the very active legs. And you can just rest here for a moment, pressing into your feet, lifting your arches up, keeping very active legs. Now, here you can put your hand on the inside of your left foot on the block or on the ground, whatever you feel like, and lift up that arm, turning your torso towards the back wall. In my case, turning it towards the front porch and the great outdoors. And you can look up towards your hand. This is reverse triangle, and it is a very lovely twist. And now we're going to just press into that hand and rotate up and around. Good. So we're going to turn towards the other side of our mat. We have once again a short stance. I'm placing that block inside the right foot here. And I'm coming up, and we're just going to tilt over that, over our hips with a straight back, and fold over our front leg as we can. I'm just putting my fingertips on the floor, and I'm rotating the front hip outwards, and I am pressing into my thighs to straighten my legs and making certain that my hips are flat, that there's a sacrum. Your sacrum is quite flat here. You could serve a nice double espresso if you're into double espressos on your back. All right. And we're just suspended here. Good. Now we're going to press our left hand into that block and rotate around to the back. And I'm not symmetrical, and this feels much more awkward than the other way. So, and I'm trying to straighten my back and rotate it around, lifting my arm up, pressing my thighs back, pressing into the feet, feeling the strength, feeling my breath, opening my body. Rotating back around. Oops. We fall into and out of poses, and that's okay too. And then coming into Tadasana, I'm just going to stand on the floor, not on the mat, just to get a sense of my balance here. Oh, it feels so good to be doing yoga with all of you. All right. Now we can do some balance postures here. We'll just do a bit of an eagle, just to, so I'm putting my foot on the ground, my left foot on the ground, and I'm lifting my right foot up, and I'm just placing my toes on the block. Now, if you are able to, you can wrap those toes around your calf and sit down into a kind of chair-like pose here. I can't do that, so I'm putting my toes on the block, and I am just bending my knees and into a kind of chair-like squatty position. Now I'm going to take my arms out. So my right arm, I'm going to put underneath and lift up my hand. So I'm in eagle arms. If that's too much for you, you can just hold on to your shoulders. But if you can put the backs of your palms together and then cross over and lift them up. I'm pressing my elbows out, my forearms out, and my elbows up to really open my shoulders here. And once again, I'm maintaining my balance and feeling certain kind of instability because my balance is not great. But it's important to work with your balance every day. And now we're going to just spring up and work on the other foot. So putting that block on the other side of your foot. In this case, it will be your right foot. I'm lifting the left up, crossing it over, putting my toes on the block, and then bending my knees into that rather uncomfortable pose. Good. And then whatever arm was below the last time, use the other arm below and lift your arms up, your elbows up, your hands and forearms are moving forward, and you're opening your shoulders here. Very good. And you can go lower if you can. And feel your breath entering your chest. If you want to, you can do a little Buddhist mantra here. So hum. And this is supposed to be the sound of the universe. So inhale, so, and exhale, hum. Inhale, so, and exhale, hum. And last inhalation here. Inhale, so, and exhale, hum. Now we're going to spring into action, spring up, open out like a tree, and just let everything let go. Very nice. All right, now we're going to come down onto our hands and knees here and just work with some yin yoga poses. We'll start with puppy here. And so you want your hips over top of your knees, and then you walk your hands out. And this is a lovely stretch in your back. It's a kind of back bend. And you'll feel your armpits opening out, pressing into your hands. The hands can be the width of your mat. And you are really allowing your spine to open out. We're breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. One last inhalation here, and then exhalation. We'll walk back to our cat and cow, and we'll just do a few cats and cows. So here we are, cats and cows, here we go. Lifting our spine up, sucking our belly button in, feeling as though our belly is pressing against our spine, and breathing. And now we're going to feel our chest opening, feel as though it's coming through our arms, and you can really open that out. Now, if you have problems with your neck, you have to make sure you don't overarch your neck backwards. And we're going to go back into cat, exhaling, and then inhaling into cow. Exhale and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now, if you like, you can draw your left knee forward, and your foot can go on the diagonal, pointed. If you're doing this as this is a pose that is in both yin and hatha yoga. It's called pigeon in yin, in hatha. And this is a back bend here. You could have blocks under your hands to give you more height if you want. And so this is a lovely chest opening, back bend. And this is swan in yin yoga. You could have two blocks, one under each hand, or you can use your fingers and just press into them. Feel that back bend. Now I'm walking my hands forward. If this is too much for you, you can stop anywhere you like. You can stop here, or you can go down to your forearms, or you can go all the way down. And this, of course, is a different pose than the upright swan. The sleeping swan allows you to open out your glutes and afford you some excellent work in your hips. And we're breathing. And this is no competition. Our bodies are our best teachers. There's no aesthetic perfection in these poses because all of our bodies are very different. So you find your own space, your own shape. And then I'm going to walk back up, pressing into my hands, feeling that back bend again, feeling my chest rise, like basically move through my arms as though the chest is moving through a tunnel. My collarbone is moving up. Very nice. Now I'm going to just fall back onto that hip and move into a twist here. So my left leg is coming back and my right is over top of my thigh, pressing my right hand into the ground behind me. I'm lifting up and shooting my arm up like it's a little fern frond in the middle of the forest. And now turning from the waist towards the back, I'm using the back of my arm as a lever to open me, to twist me. Once again, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. I'm really planting that front foot into the ground and pressing into my back fingertips. And that is really allowing me to lift and turn. And now we're going to turn this way. And we're going to take that right leg into our pigeon or our swan and move back into the pose. Now the full expression of this is with your foot flexed and at right angles. Now this is far too challenging for my knees at my stage of life. So I do not do that. I use this diagonal pose with my finger, with my pointing my toes. You may be at a different stage of your swan or pigeon. And and once again, I could be up on blocks here if I were interested in even more of a back bend. So you can really press into the blocks and open your chest up. Once again, I'm drawing my navel into my spine as though it's a basket of bodily organs, holding them close. When our muscles draw towards our bones, they bring blood into the mix. And this helps us develop our bones. Now I'm going to walk my hands down onto my forearms, so I can stay here if I like. And both of we're not symmetrical, so this is much more demanding for me on this side. So I might stay here, or I might be able to go down into sleeping swan and feel the opening, or feeling the stretch in since my right knee is bent and forward, it's in my right glute that I feel the opening here. And I'm going to walk my hands back up. And then I'm just going to rotate around, draw that left leg over the right, lift the right arm straight up, press into the back, fingers, and lift up, turning from the waist and then catching my thigh or holding on to my leg, whichever feels best for you. And pressing into that front foot, pressing it into the ground and into the back hand. And breathing here. You can inhale here and then let out a nice sigh. Inhale and then sigh. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now we're moving back again. And we're just going to move onto our backs because we can. And we can have a block nearby if we like. And we can just roll down, lift our knees up, and maybe draw our hands through our knees, hold on to the outer edges of our feet and press our feet into the ceiling. And we're pushing with our feet and pulling with our hands in opposition, feeling our knees descending towards our armpits as our feet are moving up. So there's a lot of strength in this pose. Good. And now draw your knees into your chest. Put your feet on the ground. Widen your feet to just outside of your mat. And then drop one knee down in a big windshield wiper effect here. A wide-legged windshield wiper. And then the other. So you're really opening up those hip flexors as you move. And you'll find you can listen to your body, see what it's saying to you. You'll feel your hip flexors opening on one side, and you'll feel a lovely, you can put your arms out, and when your knees are, say, facing your right, you can look towards the left and feel the opening there. And open up your legs again and feel them opening towards the other side. And once again, roll over to the other side, and we'll do a little back and forth here on your own pace, really just opening your hips. Now we're going to stretch out and do a banana pose. One of my students in another class hates the banana, so I'm dedicating it to Helen, who hates a banana, but one day she'll like it. And we're just going to curve our torso and move it towards the left. And here we can hold on to our right hand with our left hand and feel that the curve is increasing there. We can move our legs towards the left as well. And then we can lift up our right leg, put it over top of our left, and that will give us even a bigger curve, a side bend here. We've been doing a lot of forward bends, back bends, twists. And we're just breathing here, and we're breathing especially into our open side, imagining our ribs are like an accordion opening out. Now we're moving back into the center, and we're going to curve our torso over towards the other side and feel. Then we can hold on to with our, say we're curving towards the right, we're going to hold on to our wrist with our left hand and draw that further forward if we like, or hold on to one of your wrists. I can't quite remember, maybe, okay, hold on. So if we're curving towards the right, your left hand holds onto the right wrist as we curve even further here. And our legs are moving also towards the right. We're lifting up our left leg, dropping our heel over top of the other foot and getting a bigger twist here. And opening our spine, really opening our ribs. Feeling our chest like bellows as though we're fanning flames with our nostrils. Bringing our legs back to center, just stretching up and down. And then drawing our arms down towards our side. We're going to just do a little bit of bridge here. So we're bending our knees, pressing our feet into the ground, and rolling our pelvis up gently, and then rolling our spine back down, lifting our pelvis, gently rolling our spine up slightly, and then rolling back down. And this time we are pressing into our feet. We're going to either hold on to the outside of our mat or clasp our hands underneath our body and roll our shoulders under. So you decide what you want to do. So we're going to rotate that pelvis up. Inhaling here, and then clasping our hands underneath or the mat and pressing into our feet, pressing our knees towards the opposite wall, pressing our thighs up, opening our chest out, pressing into those feet. You can lift your toes up, press, press, press. One more time, open, open, open. And now we're going to roll ourselves down gently. And then we're going to do one more right off the bat here. We're going to once again roll our pelvis up, press our pelvis into towards the ceiling, our thighs towards the ceiling, our chest up, pressing into our arms and our feet, and really feeling that opening. Now we're rolling gently down, lifting our legs up and giving ourselves a little cuddle. As we extend our legs out Now we're going to move into Shavasana, and you decide how you want to relax. You could sit up if you like. You could put your legs up the wall. You could lay on your stomach or your side, or you decide your final relaxation. I'm going to stay in the standard Shavasana pose. And my body feels much more fluid than it did when it began this morning. And my mind feels much more connected to my body through my breath. And I can let go like a leaf, like a leaf. And I'm going to invite you just to suspend yourself there as though you're beside a burbling brook. Your body sinking slightly into the mossy surface of the earth. You're inhaling and exhaling on your own pace. And I'll just read a lovely, small Buddhist poem. Wisdom tells me that I am nothing. Love tells me that I am everything. Between those two, my life flows. And in your own time, you can stretch your fingers out, your feet out. You can feel the energy coursing through your body with your breath easily. You can push onto your side and sit up in your own time. And in this meditation on how life flows, I'll speak the loving kindness Buddhist prayer, which is simply, may all beings be well. May all beings be safe from harm. May all beings in all the realms, in all the universes, know peace and ease and liberation. Thank you for sharing the last hour with me. Deep bows to all of you.